Hello friends, today I'm going to be sharing some ideas with you that have been crystallizing over the last 10 years of my journey, specifically related to peace. This idea that high performance, satisfaction, creativity, these are all qualities that naturally emerge from a condition of peace. Now, what is peace? Is it about nuclear disarmament, or is it about ending a war somewhere? Or is it something that's much closer to home that is relevant in every relationship that we have, the way that we show up with our partner, our family, our coworkers, our friends? Is it possible that this thing that we think of as global conflict is really just a macro expression of something that is expressed in a micro version in every human relationship on the planet? So what I want to offer you is a specific and unique definition of peace that we're going to unpack today over this video. And bear with me, this is the first time I'm recording these ideas on camera, so hopefully I do a good job of expressing them. So the definition that I will offer you is this: that peace is the ability to respond from an energetically complete place. Now, what is an energetically complete place? The most basic definition of this is a sense of wholeness. Everything is always whole. Life is whole. It cannot not be whole. However, this sense of I that we have, the sense of I that is at the center of every human being's experience, often can experience unwholeness, a sense of frustration or insecurity or inadequacy. And it is these qualities that, when not fully witnessed and received and acknowledged, that can have an influence on our actions, our behavior, that leads to what might be called conflict, or what might be understood as not peace. So this is what we're going to be exploring today. Now, because this I construct, this sense of I, always shows up in relationship. There is no I that exists outside of relationship. It is always in relationship with something. If I'm frustrated in relationship to something. If I feel insecure, it's because I feel insecure in relationship to something. So it's always in relationship. So in a sense, coming into wholeness is a relational process, and the most basic version of this happens through conversation. And the thing about coming to energetic completion and why it's so difficult is because it's a particular kind of conversation, a relational conversation that allows what is in the space of relationship to come into relationship. It might sound a little confusing, but what is in the space of a relationship, say between me and another person, might be anger or resentment. Maybe that person did something that affected me, and now I feel angry and resentful, and maybe I'm not even aware of that resentment. Like something happened there, they dismissed me in some way, and it just kind of ticked something off in the back of my mind, and now that's always present and expresses itself in the way that I respond to that person. So first, coming into awareness of that dynamic, and then second, finding a way to have a conversation about it in a way that allows that to be fully received and witnessed by the other person. Now, this is the most basic function of coming into energetic completion, is this function of witness. And witness is not just that I see something, it's that I fully receive and feel it, and I'm able to be with it. So if I approach a person with anger, expressing anger, I am angry, it's very difficult to receive that. It's very that expression of anger has a certain violence to it. And so when violence is directed at me, my natural response is to shut down and defend myself. I cannot receive that violence. And the same can be true for almost any strong emotion, if a strong emotion is directed at a person, the natural inclination is to shut down and not be receptive to that. So a relational conversation whose intention is to bring what is in the space of relationship into relationship has to have an approach to it that creates the possibility of receptivity. And the difference might be that rather than expressing my anger, I am able to talk about my anger in a way that isn't quite as confrontational. So when you did this, it created a lot of anger for me. I felt a lot of anger. I feel a lot of anger. So I can talk about my anger without expressing my anger. And doing so allows that anger to be something that we are both in relationship with. And I'm using anger as an example here. It could be sadness. It could be anything that is having an impact on the wholeness of a relationship. This is what we're exploring here, is how do we create energetic completion so that we can have this thing that is called peace that allows these qualities of high performance, creativity, and satisfaction to naturally emerge in the context of a relationship. And at the heart of that is this capacity to truly witness and receive what is in the space of relationship, that both parties do that. So if you have an outstanding conflict with a person, or a person with whom you kind of like shut down or withdraw, this might be particularly relevant in any long-standing relationship, with a partner, with a family member, with a coworker, or with a working environment where people are withdrawn and guarded. What is missing is this energetic completion, that everything that is present and relevant to that particular situation is able to be held in a space of shared awareness. So that if you are in a co-working space where there is a sense of guardedness, just having a conversation that allows that guardedness to be something that we now bring into a space of shared awareness, that people are able to talk about. It's true, I do feel guarded. There are certain power dynamics that I respond to naturally because I'm afraid of this. Being able to talk about it allows everyone to witness it, allows everyone to hold that. And when that energy is something that becomes fully received, not just seen as in, oh, I see that you're upset with this, but in the sense of received as in, I feel you. I feel the impact that this is having on you. I feel what is present for you also becomes present for me. And once that transmission occurs, what happens is a situation becomes whole. The I that is me is now in a different kind of relationship with the I that is you, and we're able to respond from an energetically complete place. So this is this quality of peace that we're talking about. And you can kind of begin to see how this quality of energetic completion on a micro level, right? Look around you and see how much of this quality of energetic completion can you observe in the relationships around you and across the planet. Most likely, very little. And that's the work. That's the work of creating peace, is about cultivating the capacity to have communication at this level that restores the energetic integrity of the relational space between people to create this condition of wholeness. And when you have this condition of wholeness, maybe there are some relationships in your life when you feel this, you might notice that what naturally emerges out of that condition really is this quality of what you might call high performance, whatever that means in the context of that specific relationship. What does high performance mean? It means what is the highest possibility of that relationship? What is the highest creative expression of that relationship? What is the highest feeling of satisfaction, maybe a happiness or a joy. Those qualities are what naturally emerge in an energetically complete place, whether it's a personal relationship or a working relationship. All right, hopefully this has been relevant and interesting to you and offering you a way to start thinking about the nature and possibility of communication. What does it mean for two people to come into union in the sense of shared awareness, and not just awareness as something that's intellectual, but awareness as a full-bodied sensorial receptivity to what is present in a space. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please share it. Much love.